Hello all and welcome to video classes by Konnur Institutes. Today we will be discussing law of diminishing marginal product. So before we understand what is law of diminishing marginal product, first we have to understand three important terms. One is the total product, which is called as TP. Second is the marginal product, which is MP, and third is the average product, which is AP. So what is total product? When we are talking about the producers, then we will be always talking about the quantity or the output of a firm, how much quantity a firm can produce. So that is nothing but the total product. Okay, so in this chapter we are just talking about the behavior of the producers and also the cost incurred by the producers in producing the goods or the commodities, right? So TP tells us, total product tells us the capacity of the firm, how many products he is going to produce with the inputs available for him. So now here when we are talking about the inputs, we are considering inputs as only two inputs here. One is the capital and the labor, because these are the very basic inputs which we need, right? So total product tells us the quantity, the exact quantity of a firm, how much it is going to produce. So that tells us the quantity of output of a firm. Then what is this marginal product? Marginal product is nothing but when you add an extra input to the production process, then what is the change in the output, what we are getting will be our marginal product. Then this average product is nothing but, you can see here, the total product which we have received is being divided with the number of input we have put in that. So keeping here the capital as a constant, we have changed, we have made this labor as a variable input. So average product tells us about the change in the variable product or the labor which we have considered here. The change between the total product is being divided with the variable input. So that tells us about the AP. So these three important terminologies are very important for us to study the law of diminishing marginal product. So we have formulas for these total product, marginal product and average product. So when we are calculating this average product, we have to consider total product divided by the units of labor. So 50 divided by 1 becomes 50. So that's how we calculate the the average product. And when we are calculating the marginal product, we have to calculate it by the change in the output divided by the change in the input. So what is this change? Change is again nothing but the delta. Change in the output divided by change in the units of the input. So the change from when you have utilized 1 unit of labor, you have received or you have got 50 as a total product, right? So when you have increased the labor, which is a variable, when you have increased from 1 to 2, you can see that the total product has been increased from 50 to 110. So the change between this from 110 to 50, whatever the difference you are getting, that 60 becomes your marginal product. So this is how we will be going to understand or we will calculate this marginal product, the total product and the average product. So if we understand these three terminologies, which are the total product, marginal and the average product, then it will be easy for us to understand the law of diminishing marginal product. So the name itself is telling us there might be something which curve might be diminishing at certain point, right? So that's nothing but the marginal product. Okay, so they are talking about this line or this calculation wherein why is it going to diminish at a certain point. So that's what we will be studying about this law. So why they have given this law for you all to study is because when you are producing certain goods or commodities in a company or in a firm, So you try to make creativity out of the available resources, right? So you add some or other new raw material so that we can come up with a new commodity, so that we can impress or we can attract our customers or the consumers, right? So this creativity or adding a new input to the production process has a certain level, has a certain advantages and also the disadvantages. So this law tells us about at which level the production or the product which we are producing will be diminishing or will be declining or will be decreasing. So these are the terminologies wherein which helps us to understand at what stage or at what level of input are we going to diminish. So that's all about these three terminologies. So once you understand these things, we will be it's very easy for us to understand the law of diminishing marginal product. So in the next class we will be studying the exact law with the help of the graph. Okay, so see you all in the next video class.